Welcome to English Learning Community. Today's story is simple but powerful. It's about three people living in the same town, all feeling a little alone. But something magical happens when kindness walks in. Stay with us till the end for one helpful tip to make your English listening practice even stronger. It was a quiet Monday morning in the small town of Lakshapur. The rain had stopped, but the ground was still wet. The air smelled like fresh mud, and the sky was a light gray. Birds chirped from rooftops. The market was opening. Buses were honking. Shops were rolling up at their shutters. And among all the people, three different lives were moving forward, not knowing they were about to meet. The first was Anaya, a young woman in her 20s. She worked at a small tailoring shop near the bus stand. She was soft-spoken, wore glasses, and always tied her hair in a tight bun. Every morning, she walked past the tea stall, carrying a cloth bag, and smiled at the fruit seller, even if she didn't buy anything. She didn't talk much, she didn't have many friends, but she always helped her customers with extra care. One day, as she reached the shop and opened the door, she noticed something odd. The window was broken. The table was upside down. The threads, needles, and clothes were scattered everywhere. She stood frozen. Oh no, not this. The shop had been robbed. Tears filled her eyes. It wasn't just a place to work. It was her only income. Her boss, a kind old lady named Mrs. Shaw, walked in behind her. "I'm so sorry, dear," she said, placing a hand on her shoulder. Anaya sat down on the floor. I don't know what to do. We'll figure it out. Maybe someone will help." But Anaya knew no one. She had always stayed quiet, always alone. The second person was Ravi, a middle-aged man who drove an auto rickshaw. He lived in a rented room with a dusty fan and an old blue radio. Every day he picked up school children, office workers, and college students. He talked a lot, joked even more, but inside, he felt tired. His son Arjun had fallen sick a week ago. The doctor said it was a viral fever, but now it was getting worse. Medicines cost money, tests cost more. Ravi had already skipped 2 meals just to buy medicine. That morning, he sat near the temple wall with his head down, counting coins. 60, 70. Not enough. His phone buzzed. A message from the lab. Bill pending, 1,200 rupees. He looked up at the sky. Why now, God? Why now? But he wiped his eyes and started the engine. There were still passengers to drive, still people to drop. No one knew what he was carrying inside. And the third person was Meena, an old lady who ran a small food cart near the school. She sold samosas, pakoras, and chai. Every afternoon, children lined up around her cart. She always wore a faded green shawl and had a red dot on her forehead. Her hands were slow, but her smile was quick. She lived alone. Her husband had passed away years ago, and her children were far away, busy with their own lives. But Meena had one secret. Every night, before going home, she packed a box of food and gave it to the watchman near the railway station. He never asked, and she never spoke much. Just a smile. That's it. But that week, her gas cylinder finished. No more cooking. No more food to sell. She sat on the bench next to her cart. Her eyes were tired. Maybe I'll take a break. Or maybe I'm too old now, she whispered to herself. Each of them, Anaya, Ravi, and Meena, were living different lives. But all three were struggling. Until something changed. It started with Anaya. On Wednesday morning, she walked past the fruit stall again, but this time she stopped. "Uncle," she said, "do you know anyone who can repair a broken window? For free, maybe?" The fruit seller, a kind man named Imtiaz, thought for a second. You should talk to Ravi, the auto driver. He fixed my cousin's shop door once. He's good with tools. Anaya nodded. Where can I find him? Temple Street under the neem tree. That afternoon, Anaya walked up to Ravi, who was cleaning his auto. Excuse me, are you Ravi ji? He turned and smiled. Yes, sister. Auto chahiye. No, someone said you know how to fix shop windows. He looked surprised. Well, a little. Why? She told him everything. The robbery, the broken shop, the threads on the floor. He listened quietly, then said, I'll come after lunch. Don't worry. That day, he didn't eat lunch. He used the money to buy a small piece of glass. Then, with old tools and a torn bag, he walked to the shop. By sunset, the window was fixed. Not perfect, but fixed. Anaya's eyes sparkled. Thank you. I don't know how to repay you. Ravi smiled. It's okay. Just pray for my son. He's not well. I will. Anaya went home and prayed. Not just once, every night. 2 days later, Mina was sitting near her food cart, watching children walk past. She had no food to sell, no gas, no energy. But Anaya, yes, the same girl, stopped by. Auntie, I have an idea, she said. Anaya had borrowed a small stove from her landlady, and she offered to help Mina cook, just for 1 day. Maybe longer. Why? Mina asked. Because you always gave me 1 extra samosa when I had no money. Anaya smiled. Now, let me help. That afternoon, Anaya and Mina cooked together. People started coming back. The cart was busy again. Mina felt young, alive, useful. Later that week, Ravi was waiting outside the hospital for his son's report. He looked tired, worried. Just then, someone tapped him on the shoulder. It was Mina. I heard from Anaya about your son. Here. She handed him a small envelope. No, Auntie, I can't. Shh. It's not much, but it's from my first full sale after many days. Take it. For Arjun. Ravi held the envelope close. His hands were shaking. Thank you. Thank you so much. That night, Arjun's fever went down. Slowly, he smiled again. Weeks passed. The tailoring shop opened fully again, stronger, cleaner. The auto ran every day with a small photo of Arjun stuck on the mirror. And the food cart, the food cart was shining like new. One morning, all 3 of them, Anaya, Ravi, and Mina, met near the school wall. They smiled, not like strangers, not like customers, but like friends. People walking by didn't know their stories, didn't know what pain they had seen, but they saw their faces, calm, kind, and happy. Because somewhere in between those rainy days and hard nights, sharing and caring had become their way of living. Emma here again. What a beautiful journey, right? You never know how one small act of care can change someone's life. That's today's listening tip. Listen to real conversations around you and try to understand the feelings behind the words. It will make your English stronger and your heart softer. Did you enjoy this story? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more simple English stories.